for tonight's matchup between the Phoenix Suns and your
games. Look at the starters. Colin Gillespie. Stan looks for
even in the rotation to begin with.
Stretch of years here as Milwaukee's head coach. Inbound, an open look at a three, and that is good. Hollins showing off that outside stroke. And he gets us our first points of the night.
He's been right at 40% from three as a starter here, making his 14th start tonight.
Devin Booker, shadowed by Kuzma, who continues in his starting role after coming over in that deadline deal. Nice little floater that time by Dunn, able to get to his spot in the paint.
Yeah, Dunn's averaged double figures over
today's NBA standards. Kind of a mediocre offensive team.
Gave up 148 to Houston. I watched those games back to back, and I didn't know if anybody was ever going to try to stop anybody.
It was a little painful for you, Coach?
It was, to be quite honest. I felt the pain of Mike Budenholzer and Doc Rivers. I empathized.
Nick Richards had a chance underneath, unable to put it down. So Lopez on the wing. This is Rollins coming around his screen. Taurean Prince, one of the three-point marksmen in the league. Antetokounmpo on the dive, and we had a chance to visit with him, and we asked him about coming back into this building.
This franchise in the NBA won 8 playoff series and championship, and you still get fired? I mean, coaching can be a crazy profession at times, but he's back on the bench now.
Devin Booker, good early. He had 28 points in that loss against Houston on Sunday. The 4 games prior to that, he had really struggled, and his three-point slump even continued through his good offensive play on the hook shot.
Yeah, Booker, 5 games coming into tonight, 3 for 25 from 3.
A little bit too much there. Taurean Prince on the clear. So Milwaukee with a 5-point early lead. Antetokounmpo kicks out, then Prince, Gillespie, some of the little plays that he makes.
Yeah, Gillespie's just been outstanding for this team.
Ball knocked around in the front court, tracked down by Allen with 13 to shoot. Allen sizes up Rollins, gets a screen, pulls up from deep. Offensive rebound, Richards underneath. These are 2 of the best shooting teams in the NBA. That has not been an issue for either of these 2 clubs. Beautiful drop step by Booker, but then a turnover. Richards unable to squeeze that handoff in tight.
And that was the problem last week Phoenix had. It kept the game close. They had 16 turnovers against the Bucks in that game last week.
Lopez continuing to play at a high level for Doc Rivers.
Well, Brook Lopez, just a great professional. And the move, him coming here to Milwaukee, really turned things around for them to get more shooting on the floor around Antetokounmpo.
Kyle Kuzma feeds the box. Antetokounmpo's pass, tight quarters, gets it back, working against Dunn underneath.
Defender, but he has neither the size nor the strength to defend.
Phoenix Suns offense now operate without Kevin Durant. Gillespie catch and shoot 3.
Yeah, look, they're going to lean on Devin Booker, but these other guys have got to knock down shots. Gillespie and Grayson Allen among them as Lopez knocks.
He says, I do. So I said, how do you plan to slow him down tonight? He said, throw the kitchen sink at him. Stan, it looks like the kitchen sink's not working right now so far in this game.
Well, Dennis, look, the great poet Robert Burns render them meaningless.
And Stan, you and I had our taste of getting to the finals with the Magic. How tough is it for you to go back into a building where you have so much success in?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's always emotional. I didn't have to go back into that building and play against the guys who had, you know, made me successful there, but it's still emotional.
No doubt said it would be a little strange making that opposite turn. Their lead now at 12 points as we hit the 7-minute mark now in this opening quarter. Some of the shooting numbers as Milwaukee hit their first 6 shots. Gillespie finds his spot. A little bit short. Richards with the rebound. And the officials are going to say he...
Yeah, and that one of them was not the championship year.
Taurean Prince. He has been sensational from that three-point line, leads the league entering play tonight. Mention how good both of these two teams have been shooting in terms of effective field goal percentage, both in the top 5. Grayson Allen, terrific defense. So great Marquette. And both coaches, especially no Royce O'Neal tonight, another missing guy that they do not have tonight. Actually dealing with an illness. As Tyus Jones has come in for the first time, and so you're in the middle of a play.
Yeah, look, and that's exactly right. Now, Oso Ighodaro has been in the rotation for 10 straight games now and has played well for them. They're just looking for anybody who can help them, and Cody Martin's a guy who could, as he gets on the glass and then gets back there again. He is pursuing every offensive rebound.
Rollins pass deflected out front by Ighodaro. Here comes the young big running the lane. And now the reset is Phoenix trying to fight through some early offensive jitters. They're 3 of 12 shooting, just 2 of 6 from the three-point line. Booker, explodingly needed bucket for the Suns.
Yeah, right by Pat Connaughton.
Second field goal for Booker. He's 2 of his first 6. As we hit the 5-minute mark now in this first quarter. Kuzma resets to Rollins. Rollins working against Jones. 2 to shoot. Leans up. Jones picks his pocket. And some terrific interior defense.
And Tyus Jones just with great defensive plays right there.
Booker, boy, that first step, incredible. Unable to put it down.
And much better going to his left. He looks like he came up limping a little bit there.
Well, that's the last thing they need. Pat Connaughton. Rollins underneath. Lopez.
Well, you come off a great defensive possession and then you just break down and give up an easy one like that.
So Lopez already in double figures with 10. Martin, little Euro stepping into the paint, and
something Isaiah Hartenstein really has perfected now with the Thunder. But Ighodaro had that. Shaka Smart helped him develop that shot here at Marquette, and that's become a real weapon for him.
Kyle Kuzma on a
game.
Lopez a little bit with the injuries, still no Bobby Portis, and he's playing more minutes than he wants. Nice little idea underneath, but Booker a little bit off target with his pass, and it's another Phoenix turnover.
It's just left go.
It's just left go, yeah. By the way, Adam, he can call me whatever he likes. I'm honored, Coach, whatever he wants. As play resumes here in Milwaukee, Gary Trent Jr. underneath to the 2-time MVP. Trent fires, misses badly from deep. Stan, what are you seeing so far early in this game? Obviously, the urgency level, maybe more so for Phoenix, trying to play their way back into the top 10 of the West.
Yeah, look, but there's been 9 turnovers in this game already in less than 9 minutes. 5 by Milwaukee and 4 by Phoenix, but Milwaukee's just shot the ball so well, they've been able to get away with it.
Martin,
30 seconds.
About 30 seconds.
Yeah, he set out 1 possession each way, and he's right back in the game. And I call that a great coaching adjustment. Get your best player back on the floor.
Basically, get a sip of water and get back into the game. Antetokounmpo hands off to Trent. Reset with 6 on the timer. Back to Giannis. He'll reset. 3 to shoot. Shovel pass to Prince. The bobble. And it's a
struggling to get anything going offensively. The Bucks defense has been outstanding.
Only 2 points off of those 6 turnovers, by the way. Gillespie working against Porter, trying to turn the corner, and he does. So good offensive start.
Yeah, Colin Gillespie, was not in the rotation at all. And now he's taken on such a big role as Porter's played much more efficiently here in Milwaukee than he did with the Clippers earlier in the year.
A starter now 8 straight games with the absence of Bradley Beal.
Well, he's had some huge games. Friday night at Minnesota, it's been a sloppy first quarter trying to take care of the ball for both of them.
Yeah, Gillespie had that really impressive game in their win against Cleveland. Just recently on March 21st, he had 13 points in that game. So he has been the thick of things against some of the NBA's best teams. Final 90 seconds of the quarter. Porter against Dunn. 4 to shoot. Antetokounmpo will step back and fade. A little bit short, kept alive. Connaughton, Trent, and that's a
4 for 6 from 3, but not getting enough shots because of the 7 turnovers.
They're the 2 stars. Booker sizes up Antetokounmpo, and Giannis pulls it away for the steal. Here he comes up the floor. That's a scary sight. Full-headed streak. And even more now on his shoulders. You saw Damian Lillard, whom Doc Rivers, by the way, look, he's preparing to not have Lillard back. There is some hope at some point that he could return. But who knows what the future holds. Every day of inactivity just makes it a little bit more difficult for a potential comeback. Beautiful pass. Booker.
Got you one.
Yeah, no, we got better. We got to keep driving it. They're trying to pressure us a little bit. We got to finish some of our good looks, too.
Thanks, bud.
Thanks, Dennis.
All right, Dennis, boy, frustrating couple of weeks. It had looked like right before this losing streak started as Phoenix turns it over.
That's Booker's 5th turnover already.
My goodness. Opening seconds of the quarter, Antetokounmpo, the spin to the cup, a little bit of contact, no whistle. Phoenix, Booker, transition 3, that's good. They're starting to turn a corner. They'd won 4 straight games.
Yeah.
Then the Beal injury, and now they are in legit desperation mode with 7 regular season games left. Connaughton, that's a deep 3, a little bit short, and the rebound Gillespie.
Well, it's a great block out there by Dunn, getting a body on Antetokounmpo immediately.
Corner 3 from Dunn is well short. Gillespie, straightaway 3, that's his.
Chance points, great effort there by Grayson Allen to keep it alive.
3-point answer at the other end.
Well, you've got to give him that and play for the drive. If he makes that, there's just nothing you can do about it.
Offensive rebound, Richards. Out to Booker. Contested 3 split with this team, and yet here they are now, left in the regular season with the potential of missing the playoffs. It would just be catastrophic.
It would be, and any kind of defensive identity over the year, a bottom 5 defense in the league.
Porter trying to work against Beal, misses badly. Long rebound to Kuzma. Trent from deep. As Milwaukee's lead back up to 8. Allen on the drive takes a hip check under
step, but look, ultimately, you can put in schemes, you can teach your system, but you have effort and the concentration to get it done every night, and this group has not done it.
Let's check in with Dennis.
Well, Stan, you bring up such a great idea. When Bud was in Atlanta, as Giannis gets the easy. Defensively, they got stops. The ball movement was there. So you ask the same question with this team. 3 guys we know can put the ball in the basket, but is it a...
Haven't been good in the second half. They give up fast break points. There's just not much they take away as a team, and it's hard to get it done as Porter.
So this summer, Stan, is tough now for James Jones, that front office, to figure out how do we fix this team. As much as we love Kevin Durant being the first ballot Hall of Famer.
5% clip, 6 of 10 from 3 are the Bucks.
Both ways.
Milwaukee has scored 7 unanswered. Antetokounmpo over the top of Richards, a little bit short. And the rebound corralled by Dunn.
Well, that's an area where Giannis has gotten a lot better this year, shooting that mid-range jumper.
Just when you think he couldn't get better in any offensive categories, what a shot. And we got a 10-point game here in Milwaukee.
Well, he's got 16 already, 16 of the 31.
For your season, Bradley Beal still out, 8th straight DNP for him as he continues to rehab from the hamstring injury. 28th game that he...
Shooter in the league. We've got a lot of them out here. Milwaukee went zone, but then just didn't cover the best shooter on the floor.
Lopez passed up the open 3. Fades away. Unbelievable.
7-footer shooting a 1-footed fadeaway against you from the free throw line. Now Porter takes away his left hand, but he gets back to it.
Suns reset. Allen lets it fly. Back iron. And the rebound by Prince.
A very good defense there by Kuzma on the closeout and contest.
Second time these two teams are meeting in a week. Nice fair. They met at Phoenix in what was a thrilling finish. Phoenix winning that game 108-106. But far different set of circumstances tonight.
We said coming into tonight, we've got a lot of shooters out there, and these teams are proving it tonight.
Knicks in Cleveland to take on the Cavaliers, and the Pistons in Oklahoma City, and then TNT Thursday, Memphis, Miami, and Golden State Lakers in a game that will have all kinds of playoff implications. NBA.com or visit the NBA app. Porter misses a little bit short. Long rebound, Jones. Phoenix trying to fight their way back. They're within 8. Here comes Allen. Euro stepping into the corner to Dunn. Got it.
Shooting 63%, 55% from 3, and haven't missed a free throw and only be up 5. But
his rookie NBA season after 2 collegiate years at Virginia. Nice looking by Kuzma to get him his first points of the night.
Well, took advantage of the size advantage he had and was just able to get over the top on the drive.
Here comes Allen, full head of steam, and he gets to the rack. So Phoenix Suns team, Stanley was down 15 points just a couple of minutes ago now, finally showing some life. Kuzma, and the loose change corralled by Martin underneath.
Well, that was a big-time drive by Grayson Allen to finish over the 3rd leading shot blocker in the league.
Suns without Kevin Durant, still without Bradley Beal, as they begin the night number 11 in the West. Allen, boy, desperate play to save that backcourt violation. Into the corner. That is
what does in this game. No lead is safe, and especially with these two teams, 2 of the best 3-point shooting teams in the league. Kuzma travels.
Milwaukee crowd in his 2 years here as a Buck. Joined the team off their NBA championship run a couple of years ago. Booker back into the game, and we're getting incredibly, some of those defense.
Anything can happen out here, and leads can disappear quickly. We have 2 of the best shooting teams in this entire league.
Devin Booker has led this Phoenix team, which ranks 2nd in the league in 3-point shooting at better than 38%. 1 slot ahead of Milwaukee, who enters the night number 3 in the league. The Antetokounmpo double teamed into the paint. Lopez out to Rollins, open 3, splash.
And he scores or gets fouled. We saw that earlier. You double team him, and you're dealing with, as you said, one of the best 3. Now has 11. Rollins has 8 and hasn't missed a shot with 3 assists and 2 steals. These 2 guys have been absolutely key for these teams, especially through the injuries.
We crossed the 4-minute mark in the second quarter. Rollins trying to find the seam and goes.
That's 20 points in the paint for Milwaukee already, and too many of them getting to the rim with no contest.
Joe, and we are tied. Good defensive hands by Martin. Antetokounmpo back on the wing, Connaughton. And this is going to be a turnover.
Constant energy. We've seen him on the offensive glass tonight. Steps in and takes a charge there.
Booker coming around to have their first lead of the night.
Big leads, especially in the first half, mean absolutely nothing in today's NBA. And you see Phoenix, they're going to come and double Antetokounmpo even on the perimeter.
Beautiful little backdoor cut.
Well, Connaughton hasn't played a lot. 18 DNPs since early February, but when he's gotten minutes, he is a great cutter.
As they are 1 game behind Sacramento.
And the game. And I think the referees are told to call those things, so I'm not saying he's wrong maybe in what he's taught, but that call had no effect whatsoever.
Point lead, but Milwaukee seeing their 15-point lead evaporate. Phoenix taking a brief lead.
It's an area where he's gotten a lot better.
So Milwaukee now out of fouls, trying to stay in front of Booker. Goes all the way through, covering a lot of real estate. Booker back inside. Richards 1 to shoot. So a little bit.
10th Phoenix turnover. Each team with 10 now.
Milwaukee Bucks 40-34, number 6 team in the East. As Antetokounmpo, the spin, the shot. And psychologically, how quickly can Doc Rivers? But this current 4-game slide that they're trying to fight their way through.
Wow, Antetokounmpo 7 for 7 at the free throw line tonight. When he does that, it makes it very tough to stop them because he's a hard guy not to foul.
Here comes Booker down the paint into the corner. That's a tough 3 from Gillespie, and the weak side clear by Lopez with a $1:20 left in the half. So Phoenix team that was shooting sub 35% in the first quarter. Antetokounmpo.
But they clearly have nobody that can guard him one-on-one. They've got to get a second defender.
So Devin Booker at the over 89%, second best. Just think of the lean years that he had to endure in Phoenix. Such high hopes with this big 3 after they bring in Bradley Beal, obviously Kevin Durant. And it just has not happened yet for this core group. As we're going to get into
threes, but that's a good call.
Nice to see you compliment the officials.
Oh, I'm the official's best friend. Than that.
Both teams are out of fouls. Antetokounmpo steps into a 3, well short. Offensive rebound, Kuzma, then it's poked away. Gillespie got a hand on it. Final 25 seconds of the half. A Phoenix Suns team that was down by as many as 15 points, trying to cut into a 4-point deficit. About a 5-second difference. Shot to game clock. Booker out front to Martin. 3 to shoot. Martin, and he's going to be Budenholzer and his former star as we begin in the second half here in Milwaukee. First game back in this building and in this city for Budenholzer since he was shown he's got 24.
Well, and as you said earlier in the game, Sparrow, he came in over the last 5 games averaging fewer than 18 points a game and really struggling shooting the ball. 43% from floor and 12% from 3, but he's getting it going tonight with Kevin Durant out.
No KD, ankle injury that he sustained in their last timeout. Corner 3 from Dunn. Richards on a punt. Retake the lead.
That's Richards' first bucket of the night, but he's one of the best rebounders in the league, 10th in the league in rebounds per minute.
Got him in the trade middle part of January from Charlotte in that Josh Okogie deal. As many as 15 in the first half. Now we got a brand new game here as we play early stages, third quarter. Colin Gillespie, 8th straight start in the absence of Beal. This is Allen
that ball to his left hand, takes it hard, and then pivots away, creating space, and knocks it down.
Rollins had an open look at a 3. Grayson Allen, coach, hadn't quite looked like himself. Coming back from that foot injury. Struggles in his return, but tonight starting to show some of his old offensive form as this thing is tied again.
Yeah, the 4 games back, he'd averaged himself as Antetokounmpo also looked like himself right there.
So Antetokounmpo now with 22 points. Booker misses on the baseline. Jay.
Here we go.
Drive and kick. Rollins from the corner. That's
chin. And the only way to stop him is he sucks in your entire defense, and he creates the 3 for Rollins.
Torian Prince the intercept. Keep in mind Antetokounmpo, not only their leader in points and rebounds, Stan, he leads. You don't think you could come up with a defensive game plan to slow him down, Stan?
I tried for years and was about as successful as everyone else has been.
Nice little step through move, and now a 10-2 run to get Milwaukee a 7-point lead. Here comes Booker, gets downhill into the corner to Dunn. Underneath, knocked around. Richards, this is Booker. Only the 3rd rebound of the night for Antetokounmpo. Here he comes into the paint.
Like Budenholzer's also going to take out Dunn early. What Antetokounmpo does, besides getting 30 a night, He just put your whole
drive and finish by Kuzma. Shaka's either at the refreshment stand or on his phone working the transfer portal back in the tunnel. Busy time of year. Here comes Booker curling into the paint. And
job late in the second quarter of taking away. Look, with the great players, you don't stop them. You simply have to try to get them away from their strengths and
extend this 7-point lead. For Milwaukee stand just seems like every time this time of year, the last couple of years, they've had injuries. First round playoff exit against Indiana.
No question. And then even the year they lost to Miami in the first round, when Miami went to the finals, Antetokounmpo also there missed 3 of the 5 games. So it has been a persistent problem here in Milwaukee. Uh-oh.
Phoenix desperately scurrying back, but then it's...
Look, I would take Thanasis on any team I coached. The
I know you would.
enthusiasm that he brings, the energy he brings on a daily basis.
Grayson Allen three-pointer. So Phoenix Stan has answered the bell. Every time we think Milwaukee's going to run away with this game, Suns have responded. Look at Antetokounmpo. I'll wait till after this shot. But I didn't say it.
Well, that's good because we can't blame you now. You were going to say, but I think even your thought jinxed him.
Is that what we're going with now? The mental
attacking the paint. So now the three-point shooters are getting wide open shots versus contested threes. Can that be the formula to close out the season?
Well, that's always, I think, the formula for them. That's why this team was built the way it is, Dennis, you know, to put shooters around Giannis.
Right.
And then he just has to make the plays, which, as we're seeing tonight.
And then you get Portis back here those last 4 games. He brings more toughness, more defensive prowess. Can that be enough for the Bucks to really think they can go deep as Prince gets a reverse layup?
Well, great cut by Taurean Prince.
Devin Booker at the other end. So Phoenix has gone cold, and suddenly, after Milwaukee blew a 15-point lead, they've got their largest lead of the night. As we cross the midway point of this third quarter, Antetokounmpo full extension.
If you come with a second guy, he's finding shooters and they're knocking down shots. If you don't, there's nobody you can play him one-on-one and he's going to score easily.
Just wondered, would this Phoenix team have enough? No Kevin Durant, no Bradley Beal. Trying to hold on for dear life as the number 11 team in the West. Booker, and now he has cooled off.
Well, and there's a lot of things, unfortunately, that this Phoenix team doesn't have enough of. Right now, the talent.
Cody Martin pokes it away from Antetokounmpo, who recovers. Now into the corner to Rollins, 5 to shoot. Kuzma from deep. Milwaukee 10 of 19 from 3 tonight. Booker, big basket, wanted a 20-2 run before that make by Booker.
Well, and this is the tough spot for Phoenix when you get this far down, because you can't do it all with your shooting now. You've got to get some stops. And this is something this team hasn't done a lot of, and they break down, and nobody has Connaughton.
See what Devin Booker has tried to do. Ban. And we're going to get a whistle blown.
For Phoenix with 11, and he has not scored here in the third quarter.
Into the corner, this is Martin, 3, rims out, and the rebound Rollins. It just has not been the Suns' night from the three-point line. Antetokounmpo.
Take shots to win.
Announcement that really kind of threw this Milwaukee 4 games of the regular season, so the hope is that you can get him back into physical rhythm as Booker drains another season push.
Well, yeah, and what they really need, Portis and Sims, they need rebounding help. This was one of the best defensive rebounding teams in the league for most of for Gary Trent Jr., but their rebounding has really, really dropped off, and they've
in defensive rating are the Bucks. But during this 4-game slide, they've slipped to 26th during that stretch. Gillespie, corner 3 short. And the Suns' 3-point struggles continue. 18-point Milwaukee lead as we hit the 3-minute mark now left in the quarter. Good movement. Rollins corner pocket three. That's
a great ball movement by Milwaukee because he's been getting to the rim. They double teamed him on the perimeter. He moved the ball willingly. Nothing on the stat sheet for him on that possession, but he created that open three.
So Rollins, another start, playing well. He's had some nice moments for them during this stretch where he has played his way into Doc Rivers' rotation. Milwaukee poked away by Gillespie. Booker into the corner for Jones. Open three. 23 assists stand on their 33 made field goals. Again, the offense has never been the issue with this team this year. Can they dig in enough and be good enough with their defense?
Outside, he's moving, and Milwaukee comes out in 2-3 zone.
Jones, tough little last stoppage. They changed that last Devin Booker 3 to a 2 at the 3:47 mark of the quarter.
Well, that's the second Phoenix 3 that's been changed to a 2 tonight. Not much going right for the Suns.
Gary Trent Jr. on the wing for Porter. At one, our great TNT crew here. Our director, Jonathan Bywaters, our producer, Sean Gerchikov. Nice to have everyone with.
Well, Tyus Jones, again, one of the top three-point shooters in the league, and Milwaukee made no effort to get over that screen and get back out to him.
Lopez, the birthday boy, a little bit too much on that floater. Tyus Jones has hit the last 8 points for Phoenix. Trying to steal some minutes here with Devin Booker on the bench. Gillespie, turn back. Lopez got him. Still a defensive force. In fact, the NBA's active leader in blocks, Brook Lopez. And look at that pass.
That's what we got to correct.
Speaking of 9 Giannis minutes, how long do you leave him rest? Because he's getting downhill, you're getting any shot when you want when he's attacking the paint.
He's human. He needs a little bit of rest, but we'll watch the clock.
Nice, Doc.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, 3D great stuff with the Antetokounmpo stand still on the bench to begin this fourth quarter. And that was the first thing, one of the things that Doc actually mentioned when we sat with him in his office before the game, those 9 or 10 or so minutes with Antetokounmpo on the bench. As we'll get an offensive foul here against Allen.
So is Giannis, a little giggle there.
Underneath, low.
Well, the Bucks are just so much bigger right now than Phoenix is.
Here comes Booker, gets downhill into the corner, and that 11.
Well, you can see the problem here, though. This was at the end of the third quarter. Plus 28 in 28 minutes with Giannis, minus 16 in the 8 minutes he's out. That's what Doc Rivers and Dennis Scott were talking.
Lopez may have Antetokounmpo to thank. Murat Kogut, always possible with Brook Lopez, one of the most colorful personalities in the NBA. Here comes Allen underneath. Richards turned back. Loose ball, Booker hanging in the paint. Underneath, it's Richards again. Gonna power back up. So Phoenix stand, give them some credit. Scrappy, just trying to stay close.
I'm really glad to see it because I think one of the problems with this Phoenix team here in this last stretch has been not showing enough fight. It's nice to see them continuing to battle through some adversity tonight.
Again, a Phoenix team that has lost 3 straight games, just 5-5 in their last 10. With everything at stake for them as they begin the night 1 game out of that final play-in spot in the West as Allen misses a corner 3. Porter drive and kick. And then Kuzma a little bit short. Devin Booker a little bit more ball handling responsibilities. Dunn in the corner, steps back.
He's been shooting the 3 better, but a step back off the dribble, not really Ryan Dunn's shot.
So 3 minutes gone by in the fourth. Antetokounmpo waiting to check in. Kuzma, beautiful drops.
Big time move there by Kuzma.
Got Kuzma in that deadline deal from Washington. 20-plus points in back-to-back games entering this one tonight as Jones misses from the corner. Porter, and no one back for Phoenix. Rally his Bucks as Porter Jr. completes the three-point play, and their lead now back up to 15.
Well, and he's right. Every time Milwaukee has driven the ball, drawn help, and moved the ball, they've gotten great shots.
Grayson Allen, that's a deep three, tough shot.
Budenholzer running Booker from side to side, but then as the ball got to him, flare screen for Grayson Allen, the 7th best three-point shooter in the NBA.
Up over 40%, and then he makes a play at the other end against his ex-mate. Transition three, Allen a little bit short, and then it's put
all on the floor.
Court bodies all over
here to get the lead.
That lopsided blowout loss to Houston on Sunday at home, in which they gave up almost 150 points.
Same play. Then to the next option, pick and roll with Booker and Richards.
So Milwaukee made the adjustment, but it's Gillespie. As play resumes, 7 and change left to play. The 2025 MLB season is here. TBS has you covered all season long. Watch the Phillies take on the Braves April the 8th, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, TBS, and streaming.
Yeah, I don't know about going under on a handoff with the #1 three-point shooter in the league. Doesn't make a bit of sense.
Grayson Allen, boy, it's a big...
You know what? We won't guard your best three-point shooter either.
So inside of the 7-minute mark, Antetokounmpo leads in with the 2. It's his 5th straight with at least 30 for Milwaukee. Allen, and he's starting to...
You got to have some idea that he's the best three-point shooter on the floor for Phoenix.
Look at the three-point shooting now in the quarter. 5th three for the Suns in less than 6 minutes. Gillespie.
Doc talked about if you're not going to communicate when you know there's three-point shooters on the floor and they're playing desperate basketball, how do you create better conversation on the defensive end? Because too many wide-open shots stand.
Not surprising, but we've got 30 made threes in this game now between the two teams. We said coming in, this is 2 of the best three.
Stretch over the last 12, 13 days of the season.
And we played 41 minutes when these teams played a week ago in Phoenix.
But look at Rollins poking on occasion.
Yeah, on occasion.
Shot clock at 3, so Allen has to work quickly into the paint. Well played, and then Richards take.
Has not been good, but they've shown some fight tonight when Durant's been out.
Antetokounmpo again, the spin rack.
Well, this part I don't like about the way the Phoenix is playing, and because he's not a shooter and they're worried about getting off the dribble, Nick Richards is just backing off so far that he's Antetokounmpo to dribble the ball into 6 feet. Then he's too close. He's just up over the top. You've got to meet him out here at the three-point line. You see him, he's already in the retreat. That's what they're hoping he'll do, but he knocked that to beat you. You've got time to get your help there.
Just giving him too much runway.
Much too much. He's coming full speed at you. You have no chance.
He starts knocking down those threes. He has been a complete nightmare for Phoenix tonight.
He only had 9 made threes on the year coming into tonight. He's made 2 tonight.
Gillespie misses underneath, unable to get it.
Right here with Colin Gillespie, but he missed Milwaukee. Doc Rivers a little frustrated from the line, and you're only up 9. Why? Because you have 18 turnovers, and you're getting outscored 23-3 on second chance points.
That's them. This just happened for them recently. This is not unprecedented, where they shot it better than 60% in a game and lost.
Well, when you don't do the other things, when you don't defend, you have a chance to get help to him. I mean, he's essentially been the point guard here down the stretch.
37 points, 4 rebounds, 8 assists for Antetokounmpo tonight. Here's Prince, corner 3, open.
Well, a 15th three of the night off on the initial drive.
Fought his way through that thing Sunday in the loss to Houston, and he is fully out of that slump tonight. Coach, he has been sensational
37 points to match Adetokounmpo, and on 3 in the league, the top 3 in scoring, rebounding, assists, and steals.
Never been done. Someone in the top 10 in all of those categories in a single season. Gillespie steps in with 3, had a good, clean look, and now the official double-doubles on the season, 10 of which.
Before you give the ball to Nick Richards, Mike Budenholzer upset. It didn't end up meaning anything, but there's no reason he should have taken the ball back to let him switch spots.
So a 7-point game as we hit the 3-minute mark now in this fourth quarter. Adetokounmpo has been magnificent, coughs it up. Another Milwaukee turnover. Booker gets it to Allen, nice into the paint. Richards on the dive, trying to stuff with Phoenix. Giving him just under 10 points per.
You have to do, you got to get a shot. Do not turn the ball over. 20 turnovers on the night. Be legal on your screens and take care of the ball. When you do, you're getting whatever you want on the offensive end.
Adetokounmpo.
52 points in the paint. You're going to get whatever you want. Just take care of the ball.
Boy, refuses to go quietly. They're within 5.
Well, Milwaukee's going to ride this Adetokounmpo, Brook Lopez pick and roll.
Suns adjust. Adetokounmpo pulls up, mid-range jumper too much, and that time Richards played it well.
Absolutely, he stepped up a little higher.
Booker fires short, and Adetokounmpo underneath. It's only his 5th rebound of the night as we cross the 2-minute mark left in regulation.
They need to move the ball and get Adetokounmpo on the attack.
Lopez tangled, boy, was expect. Shot clock at 10. This is Rollins. Again in a starting role, curls to the cup, and he goes.
18 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals for him tonight.
Allen, pull-up 3.
Patience and discipline there. Phoenix has it down to 4 in plenty of time.
Here's a corner 3.
Stepped up.
22-year-old Ryan Rollins, who's still playing with that shoulder pain. Dislocated that thing recently as Richards is turned back. Look at right his way into Doc Rivers' rotation as he makes his 14th start. Shot clock at 7. Here comes Gillespie, Booker. 1 to shoot. Martin left open. Long rebound the other side. And a reset by Allen. Deflected. And I wonder what's left for this team. 6 regular season games left. Looks like they're going to come up short here as Kuzma tracked down.
He's the guy to, especially if Jalen Brunson is healthy.
Lopez.
Read by Kuzma, stayed patient, let the play develop.
Booker weaves his way up the floor, finds his spot on the baseline. Adetokounmpo clears, and we're down to 20 seconds. 131-120. As Milwaukee will improve to 41-30.
There's a lot of wins. All the guys to be admired. Anybody can catch lightning enough to do it that well for that long. Congratulations to Doc.
Indeed. Hoping he can somehow get this team into some postseason success as they're going to win it. Phoenix